Today is October 9th, 1996. We are at the Steuben House on Main Street, River Edge. My name is Kevin Wright, and I will interview two honored guests, Dr. Cornelius Kraissl and Jane Bogert, on behalf of the River Edge Cultural Center.
Jane Zabriskie Bogert, born, half a mile from here, to John Pell Zabriskie and Rosamond Mary Zabriskie.
I'm Cornelius Kraissl. Nobody calls me Cornelius. They always say Corny because of my bad jokes. But I was born in Vienna. I think I was a mistake because nobody in their right mind would have gone to Europe on a trip expecting a child. But I was born in Vienna. And
did your grandfather, great-grandfather build the house?
No, he bought the house. It had been there and had 4 previous owners, which indicates that it was pretty old because people didn't move every other year in those days.
It was a farmhouse, right?
But then it was a farm in my family's time. My grandfather set up a farm. And way back, the strawberries were a very big crop in Bergen County. And they had something called the Hackensack melon, which was much desired at Delmonico's famous restaurant in New York City this summer.
And before the development that now surrounds Cherry Hill, from your front porch, since the house was set on the brow of the hill, did you have a considerable view of the valley?
And Cordy can tell you we had the best coasting field in the whole town.
you bet. You could stand
And down to Cordy's house was open field too, and we often skied down that one because it was pretty steep. Every kid in the town, as soon as it snowed, they'd come up and we'd walk up the hill this way, you know, stomping the snow down into a good track. And then we all coasted. I mean, every kid in town came there to coast, and we coasted all winter. I swear we did, didn't we?
And then in addition to that, there was a very nice ice pond to go skating on, which was Zabriskie's Pond. And everybody used to come down there too. The skating was excellent. And one time I went down there on my motorcycle. Were you there at the time?
No, but you told me about it.
And the guy said, "Can we hang on the back and snap the whip?" And I said, "Sure, hang on." So they all did, and finally I heard a crack, and the ice caved in, and there were about 5 guys that went up to their middles in the ice, but I climbed out on my motorcycle and didn't get wet. They all came up to my mom's house.
Pretty mad at you, huh? Down below the hill, back by this Vinzon Pond, which fed into a nicely dug out large pool called Pompadour, where every kid in Hackensack, River Edge, and North Hackensack learned to swim and spent the summer swimming in this pond, which came down with a rippling brook, so it was nice, fresh running water.
And this would be just south of Howland Avenue today?
A fair amount south, closer to what I'm talking about, this island, right in back of the Route 4 stores that exist, stores, restaurants, whatever they are at the moment. I'll tell you what, it was where Paramus, River Edge, and Hackensack all joined together. Because if the kids had been, Dad was perfectly happy allowed to swim. But occasionally they would decide to take a piece of equipment apart out in the field and hang it up in the tree. Wheels and parts and everything hung in the tree to dry. Then he'd be mad, he'd go back and he'd say, "You kids get out of here, go on home." So the kids knew that they could, he'd say, "Bring the police." And they knew if they were on this side, the River Edge police could do nothing. So they would just swim across the brook, stand on the other side and yell, "Pell, Pell, go to hell."
Do you know how the town got its name? It sounds rather
No,
unusual.
everybody wonders. They think it's because the boys used to put their heads back and then their hair would go up like a pompadour, but there's no fact in that.
Oh, that's
It's only, nobody knows, but it was always called Pomp or.
You then lived right behind the Congregational Church.
Right.
Is that the same church that's standing there today?
The same church, but it's a lot different. It was a smaller church, and they apparently needed to expand, and
You then attended what school?
the school down under the hill.
Which would today be where?
It ain't nowhere. No, my mother taught me at home for up until through the early years, second and third years. I think it was the 4th or 5th grade I went into when I went to school.
Now, did the Roosevelt School replace the school in the Hollow?
The little school there was, I'm not sure whether it was destroyed when Route 4 went through, because the ramp off of Route 4 would go right through.
Right.
Or if it was destroyed before that, it became useless.
But with the school at the north end of town, now you said your older brother Harold?
Yes, the one that Corny went to that was down the hill in River Edge.
When did that school close? Was it replaced by Roosevelt School or?
I'm sure it was, but I don't remember when.
Yeah.
Candy Kitchen, there was a theater, the Lyric Theater on Main Street, and a soda fountain next door. Oh, that was a wonderful place to be taken once in a great while for a treat. The theater had stock. They had live performances. They took me to something, The Cat and the Canary, and scared me out of my wits.
How'd you get to Hackensack?
There was one ice cream parlor up in River Edge about 2.
Ladies I was working with, Hackensack River used to be a beautifully clean stream, and everybody canoed on it. I remember the Red Feather Canoe Club was right down in back of, just north of where Corny lived, down the hill, and it was right down the dock. And people all had their canoes, and they would go on outings on Saturdays, Sundays, and then picnic and wherever there was a grassy spot, usually on the other side of the river.
And did they swim in the river?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It was an extremely fast current for tide water, and I could understand how it could run sawmills in the old days.